peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. This reminds us that true peace and contentment cannot be found in external circumstances or material possessions. Instead, they arise from within ourselves, from our thoughts, attitudes, and how we perceive and respond to the world around us. In Buddhism, Siddhartha Gautama taught the Four Noble Truths, which elucidate the essence of human suffering and the journey towards liberation. As an inherent part of human existence, the First Noble Truth teaches that suffering encompasses not only dissatisfaction, disappointment, and emotional pain, but also all forms of physical and mental suffering we encounter in daily life. As the Buddha said, life is suffering. For example, when facing illness or loss, we experience this truth firsthand. The Second Noble Truth teaches that cravings and attachments are the root causes of suffering. As Buddha said, attachment leads to suffering. For instance, clinging to relationships or material possessions can cause distress because they are impermanent and subject to change. The Third Noble Truth teaches that it is possible to attain freedom from suffering. As Buddha said, there is an end to suffering. To achieve nirvana, characterized by the absence of craving, ignorance, and suffering, one must eliminate attachments and cravings. For example, by letting go of attachments to desires and material possessions, we can experience profound peace and liberation. And the Fourth Noble Truth outlines the Noble Eightfold Path as the systematic way to liberation from suffering. As the Buddha said, the Noble Eightfold Path leads to the cessation of suffering. This path includes interconnected practices: right understanding, right thinking, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. By diligently cultivating these qualities in daily life, we can gradually reduce and eventually eliminate cravings and attachments. In Buddhism, the Four Noble Truths give us a roadmap for understanding and overcoming suffering. They're like signposts on a journey. First, acknowledging that suffering is real and part of life. Second, recognizing how our desires and attachments fuel that suffering. Third, knowing that it's possible to end that suffering. And fourth, finding the path to liberation from it. So how do we bring these truths into our everyday lives? It starts with being real with ourselves about the things that cause us pain and discontent. Maybe it's clinging too tightly to success, relationships, or even our own expectations. Once we see those attachments clearly, we can start to loosen their grip. Become aware of the different forms of suffering in your life, both physical and mental. Think about impermanence and the unsatisfactory nature of attachment to transient things. Examine the root causes of your suffering, which are often desires, cravings, and the attachments, observing the way they result in dissatisfaction and discontent. Cultivate self-awareness so you can understand the impermanence of everything. Develop contentment with your present situation and let go. Be mindful of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Mindfulness is a crucial component of applying the Four Noble Truths. You can recognize unwholesome patterns of thinking and behavior through mindfulness, observing how they relate to your suffering and the Four Noble Truths. And the more compassion you cultivate, the more kindness and generosity you will extend to others. And as you grow in your understanding of suffering, you will develop compassion and kindness towards yourself and others. Reaffirm your commitment to the path by regularly reflecting and contemplating on the Four Noble Truths. Review your progress, identify areas of attachment and suffering, and reaffirm your commitment to making change. Applying these teachings isn't a quick fix or an instant transformation. It's a profound journey of self-discovery and growth, where each small step brings us closer to a life where we're no longer enslaved by our desires. It's about cultivating a deep inner peace that stays with us through life's challenges and triumphs, finding liberation from suffering in the quiet moments of our daily existence. The process of pain is necessary, but suffering is a choice. Let go of the things that are holding you back and realize the infinite potential that you possess. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. So if you want to turn that pain into gain, just remember the only way out is through. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Humanfluence out.